I don't know what she could have done so awful that deserved a beating like that.
It's a nightmare for any parent. This father's 13-year-old daughter beat unconscious. The attack was recorded.
I wish I could.
We as a society have fucking failed each other. Every single person who watches this, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to me, and I'm talking to everybody. What the fuck am I talking about now? I'm gonna tell you guys right now. So some of you may or may not have read or known about this attack of this young girl in Kelowna. So a video went around of her getting violently attacked by a group of people. I have not watched it. Psychically, I can feel into that being both male and female people that were attacking her. But yeah, it says after she's thrown to the ground and punched in the head by multiple people, they had then like throw a bunch of dirt and stuff on her, and then as she lies on the ground not moving with a concussion after the attack, they continue to just like throw stuff at her and yell at her and just attack her. And I'm like, I'm not saying that this girl's a perfect angel. Maybe she did something horribly wrong to somebody, you know? Maybe she did. Does that ever make something like this okay? No. Right? No. Just please listen and hear me out to the end of this video, because I got a really freaking important point to make, and I'm not going to stop making it. So the father of this 13-year-old says he can't even like unsee the video, and he says that she was lured to the park by a friend who left shortly before the attack began. So it was planned. He said, "Look at the video and tell me where you can see any remorse." And the kid's taping it, laughing and spitting on my daughter. Her father said, "They know nothing is going to happen to them." And it says the victim's father is asking for the perpetrators of the attack, which he called a swarming, to face the full extent of the criminal justice system. "You're telling me that you're going to have these kids take an 8-hour course on bullying and they'll be fine?" he asked. "They need to be behind bars or on house arrest so that their parents can get sick of them instead of them beating up other kids." I don't want to rain on his parade. But it doesn't start from the bottom and then make its way up to being criminally just and fair. Everybody in any sort of leadership position who takes any sort of leadership training or is in politics or anything like that, teachers even, probably knows that everything funnels from the top down. Behaviors are demonstrated, things are taught by those with the authority, seniority, whatever, all the things, who assert power, right, on the other people who they're educating, in whatever regard that is. For those of you who aren't familiar with my story, I was just a little girl the first time I finally stood up to my father, who was beating the shit out of me when I was 14. I too was on the ground in fetal position in my living room while he was kicking me in the ribs, in the face. I mean, like beating the shit out of me. I finally managed to get away enough that I grabbed a knife. My dad's very mentally unstable, and he grabbed a different knife, and because I was in trouble because I was using drugs. I'm not gonna like lie to you guys, that's why he was beating me, apparently, because I was using drugs. That's just like my mother, apparently. And so I told him to stay away or I was gonna stab him. Like, he was literally like kicking, I mean, like, I keep wanting to say the word boot fucking, but so I'm just gonna say it. That's what he was doing. Like, what I was reading about this little girl reminded me of that, and I'm not crying because I'm not triggered because of that. I'm triggered because of the fucking state of this world, which I know we're changing and we're manifesting it, but like, this is how, because people need to wake the fuck up. This guy's story is exactly why. He's expecting some sort of justice. How? Those kids learned that from their parents, most likely. And if not from their parents, yeah, everyone's blaming social media. Who the fuck controls the media? The kids? No. The people in power. What is wrong and why this is happening and that we're seeing such an increase in youth drug problems and violence so much? Do you know who can commit violent crimes like that? People void of empathy. I don't understand why there have not been significant jumps in regards to the fact that there should be like some sort of just automatic screening thing for anybody who gets publicly demonstrates that they are void of empathy. Why? Because this is what happens when you don't do that. When you allow careless, monstrous, heartless, I don't even want to say the term narcissistic because that's just one version of, being deficit of empathy, but it is like the primary, borderline personality disorder being the other one, neither of which are, pleasant. These kids are beating the shit and luring people into parks, having more mental problems than any other previous generation. They should have the most support and education than any previous generation. That's the whole purpose of us being here. We're not supposed to be trashing the world to such a degree that it's not even the physical earth. The physical earth is going to be fine. These kids don't know how to be because they don't see love, support, kindness, and compassion. In spite of so many people trying to preach that that's what they share, what these children are witnessing is a bunch of hypocritical, careless, selfish, out for themselves, horrible people. Everywhere, though. Everywhere. What the fuck are they supposed to do? Rise above all of us? Just automatically do better without knowing better? We failed them, and we need to change that right now. The government needs to smarten up too. I'm not just preaching and not going to be doing something about it. I'm literally working on 12 different types of reports for research I've been doing on all sorts of vulnerable sectors and corruption that I've faced in this country. I have courthouses giving me forged documents, police officers up into the almost, double digits that I have to have active complaints on right now. Some for assaulting me, some for just turning a complete blind eye to my children being abused. Still. Because they're men and they belong to a certain little boys club. Apparently the rules don't apply to that club. So to the father of that little girl, if you ever see this video, I hope that you guys will fight for justice for your daughter, but fighting for justice for your daughter means you're going to have to fight for justice for everybody's daughters. Why? Because very few people give a shit about your daughter. I do. And I know there's lots of people that do. They're just scared, weak. They don't know how to help. Which is why we all need to just start trying. You know how you can start doing that right now? You have to demonstrate how to be a good human. We need to stop what's going on in our communities with our leadership and corruption. How can we ever expect our kids to do better in this current, how are they going to survive? None of them know love. This shouldn't be a dog-eat-dog world. This is a beautiful freaking place to live. We're not running out of anything. And there's way more than enough space. Why is everybody so fucking miserable and mean to the point that now children have completely normalized evil? This isn't just I'm so sad at the state of the world. This is a fucking call to action to everybody, because this place is going down and going down hard and fast. And you all need to realize that your kids need your love, and they need your demonstration, and they need your proper leadership, and they need to see your strength in defending them and the world that we all live in. We're raising a bunch of psycho puppets because that's all they see. For everybody saying, well, not my kid, not my kid, not my kid. Yeah, we'll deal with your narcissism and then just help somebody else out. Wake up, everybody, seriously. I do. I love all of you guys, and I hate that I have to get like this tone. Not really, though. Because if maybe more people had overstepped some boundaries that society placed, when really they control fucking everybody anyways. When you care, you say something. You overstep. You don't just fucking sit there and watch people be hurt, be attacked like that. Every single parent of the people in those videos should be ashamed. Those parents should have to go through significant training and then learn how to demonstrate care and compassion before those kids have any fucking repercussions, even of their actions. I doubt that every single one of those parents are really great people. It wouldn't be possible for them all to plan a fucking lynch mob attack on some 13-year-old girl. I don't give a fuck whose boyfriend she looked at or what she said or what she's doing. She's a person. Get over it. The only people who would do stuff like that are people who think they can get away with it. And you know why? Because they watch other grown-ups around them get away with those horrible things and lie about it and cover it up and shh. We raised a society of psycho-narcissistic abusers. And we still have a system that lets it happen and will do everything in its power to shut that little girl up. That dad should be thankful that one of those boys isn't Mason connected. Maybe he wouldn't even have found his daughter by the time that video got viral. You know, law doesn't apply. Not to us little girls that are helpless. Thank God for her dad's standing up for her. Not the one kicking her, though, but, you know. Takes a village. That's not a fucking joke. We need to have something that, like, there needs to be blanket accountability. There needs to be a blanket system where people can feel safe to go and report any avenue of corruption. I'm creating that. Small scale, of course, right now, because it's a lot of work and I'm new at this stuff, but that's actually what I'm doing right now. I have specific focuses that I'm going to be primarily focusing on that will be listed there. But essentially, if we need to change things, we need to stand together. And to do that, we need everybody's voice. I understand that some people are scared to use their voice, and I want to be that voice. But I need the information. We need to protect this world for our kids. And this is why. That dad is right. Like, I don't have to look at the video to know that those kids didn't have any fucking remorse. They wouldn't be doing it if they didn't have remorse. The only one that had remorse was the friend who lured her there, who left right before the attack. Little bitch. Sorry, but like, you know, glad she has a conscience. Well, God says that was a really big lesson for her, and it actually worked. It's sick that it, you know, those things have to happen. You know, it's even worse, though, when people watch those things happen and they don't grow. They succumb and acquiesce and become one of them. I'm not even ashamed of this video or of that I was crying or of any of the things that I said. I'm ashamed of all of you and of me. I'm ashamed of all of us. We failed those fucking kids. We failed all these kids. And that doesn't mean that we can all just sit here and cry about it. That means we all gotta fucking step the fuck up right now. And if you don't care, you're the problem. And so, I don't know. Can we just take them all to Mars? Just kidding. But really, can we have 17 billion walk-ins? No? There's not that many? Oh. Shoot. Please start demonstrating being a good human to your kids and to the people around you. One single person can make the difference in thousands of people's lives, let me tell you. Be the change you want to see in the world. For real. It's like everyone's job right now. Please. Before some other person's baby just gets fucking attacked and is left there to die alone.